You know what the Obama administration keeps getting wrong is whenever anything bad happens, they focus on law-abiding citizens instead of focusing on the bad guys. We need to focus on radical Islamic terrorists, and we need to stop them before they carry out acts of terror.
That was Ted Cruz, just one of the candidates trying to get his points across last night. The Republicans attacking each other and the administration.
But at times, their statements hovered between fact and fiction. Al Jazeera's David Schuster went searching for the truth.
We need toughness.
It was another debate where Donald Trump may have connected with Republican sentiments, but got his facts wrong.
Our country is out of control. People are pouring across the southern border.
In fact, the flow of illegal immigration has dropped to its lowest level in decades, about 400,000 people a year. 15 years ago, government data says the figure was 1.6 million. Trump delivered a whopper when he spoke about getting tough on the families of terrorists and mentioned 9/11.
When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back for the most part to Saudi Arabia. They knew what was going on. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television.
But the comprehensive September 11th investigation found that the hijackers had largely cut off contact with their families, and none had their families in the United States. One of the night's biggest clashes involved Senators Rand Paul and Marco Rubio. Paul hit Rubio hard on his support a few years ago for comprehensive immigration reform.
He is the one for an open border that is leaving us defenseless.
But the comprehensive bipartisan bill Senator Rubio helped write included $40 billion to strengthen border security. For his part on immigration, Rubio attacked Senator Ted Cruz.
Ted, you support legalizing people who are in this country illegally.
It is not accurate what he just said, that I supported legalization. Indeed, I led the fight against his legalization and amnesty bill.
On that, Cruz was correct and Rubio was wrong. Several candidates attacked President Obama. Carly Fiorina accused the White House of not reaching out to internet companies to monitor potential threats.
They need to be asked to bring the best and brightest, the most recent technology to the table.
In fact, Google and Microsoft, among others, have been asked by the administration and have repeatedly resisted. Ted Cruz hit the administration this way.
You know what the Obama administration keeps getting wrong is whenever anything bad happens, they focus on law-abiding citizens instead of focusing on the bad guys.
But that's not true. After the attack in San Bernardino, President Obama spoke to the nation and focused mostly on the bad guys.
In Iraq and Syria, airstrikes are taking out ISIL leaders. Heavy weapons, oil tankers, infrastructure.
The biggest gaffe of the night may have come from Chris Christie when he pledged to get U.S. allies more engaged in battling ISIL.
But I will tell you this, when I stand across from King Hussein of Jordan, I say to him, you have a friend again, sir, who will stand with you to fight this fight. He'll change his mind.
Actually, Jordan's King Hussein died 16 years ago. Since then, the leader of Jordan has been his eldest son, King Abdullah. Altogether, fact-check groups say the GOP debate produced more than 20 inaccurate claims. David Schuster, Al Jazeera.
Paris Dennard is a Republican strategist. He's also a former White House staffer. He was the White House Director for African American Outreach under President George W. Bush, and he joins us from Washington. Paris, thanks for being with us this morning. Donald Trump is the front runner. Did he do anything last night that is going to change his status?
I think Donald Trump helped himself because he made it clear to the American people, but more specifically to the Republicans in the base, that he was going to run as a Republican, and he took off the table the idea that he would be a third-party candidate. And so for those who have been on the fence about how serious he was about this election, about this campaign, he solidified that last night. In terms of foreign policy, I think he did just what he needed to do, and that is show that he could possibly be commander-in-chief and not have any major gaffes. But he wasn't as strong as he could have been because foreign policy is not his strong suit, but he did fine.
Paris, as we were pointing out in David Schuster's piece, there were a lot of whoppers in that debate last night. As a strategist, do you tell the candidates to say whatever it takes to move the needle as far as votes are concerned, regardless of whether it's the truth or not, because most people don't pay attention to the fact-checking after the debate?
Well, you know what, Dale, facts are important. And so what we tell candidates all the time is to have the sound bite that will resonate with the American people that are watching.
Even if
and
it's
so
not
it's not
true?
necessarily not having. No, no, that's not accurate. But what we do want the candidates to do is say something that will get them the headline. That's why you saw Governor Jeb Bush go out and attack Donald Trump by saying he was a chaos president. And then you saw instantly they had chaospresidency.com or whatever the website is that linked back to Jeb Bush's website. And so you want to say these things. You saw that a lot in the undercard debate. What does it take to get your name in the spotlight? What does it take to get your name ID up? And sometimes you say things that are more, excitable to get your name in the lights. But it's not about not being factual. What it is about is saying something that will be more provocative so that people pay more attention to you.
A lot of people saying that was a make or break moment for Jeb Bush. He right now is polling at about 3%. Do you think his numbers are going to rise?
I don't think so. This was make or break for Governor Bush. And he said last night after the debate, he said this was the commander-in-chief debate. Now, whether or not he can be commander-in-chief is another question. But as it relates to his poll numbers and his standing, Donald Trump said, you started off right here in the center and you keep moving further and further down. I don't know if Governor Bush helped himself last night when you look at the fact that it really wasn't about him. And when he tried to go after Donald Trump, which he continues to do, it does not work. He stumbled on his opening and he stumbled on his closing. And so in terms of him looking strong and in terms of him having a command of the stage and being commander-in-chief, I don't think he stood up to the test last night.
Paris, if you are a Muslim American or a Muslim who does business with America, did you leave that debate feeling good about your future or your future business dealings?
I think if you are a Muslim American that has business dealings in this country or are living in this country, you felt that the Republican Party is diverse in their opinions as it relates to national security. And so while there may be some that have stronger opinions as to having a temporary stop on our immigration policy as it relates to having immigrants come to the country, I don't think that there was anything that should have given alarm or pause to Muslim Americans as it relates to how the Republican candidates feel towards them. At the end of the day, Dale, this is about safety and security of Americans, and that includes Muslim Americans.
Paris Dennard joining us from Washington, D.C. Paris, as always, thank you very much.